Welcome back, Lost to Becoming Family. I'm your host, the one and only Kaylin. We're going to continue to talk about dropping your location. And this location that we're in today is the weight of your yes. Welcome back. Again, we already know that the word or whatever we talk about is based on my week, the weight of your yes. Guys, I want to continue to hear from you. I would love to hear, where you guys are dropping your location, where there you are in the process of it's okay not to be okay, or is the identifying where you are, granting God access to this walk, or God, I don't understand. That's a big one. Or even the God is not intimidated by your emotions. And I started thinking, I was like, did I miss one? But if I did, that's okay. I'm totally fine. It's my stuff, right? Anyways, guys, drop it on the Facebook, YouTube. We got Amazon, Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you are. Let me hear from you. The comments only, guys. All right, guys. Well, let me tell you about this week, right? I don't know what it was, but it just kind of felt like it's just been a really heavy weight. And this my one of the songs I think I sing the most, like whenever I was like really starting this journey off. And it still kind of come on today, but I'd be like a little skeptical to sing it sometimes. Let me stop. But it's really like it literally the song is called Yes, and I don't remember who it's by. But if you know and you listen to gospel music, then you know the song where it goes, the Yes song. Anyways, I just was like reflecting on my week and how heavy it just felt. Like the weeks before was heavy. It's just like, man, I just feel like I'm being hit all places. When I'm telling you, I'm going to be 100% transparent. Hit like mentally, financially, spiritually, emotionally, man, physically. I mean, every other week is like I have like my throat starts to randomly hurt. That's how I know God got something to get good to give. And I promise you, it's probably gonna be a part two on this one because I was listening a little bit and I got a little bit of what he said, but I got a little bored, so I got up. So he's gonna have to take the wheel when he decides what else he needs to add into this video. But anyways, so yeah, it's just the weight of your yes. And I'm just gonna dive into it. Like I remember, I think I've been in, I've, let's say it like this. Like I know of God, I've known of God my entire life. Like, little kid in church and then moved. We weren't in church as much, but we still, was back and forth into church home, whatever. But the process that I want to dive into is when I really started to walk my journey out with God and like really, really building the relationship. I was 17, 18. I would like go back. I would have these moments where I would like write these Dear God letters, and I was just like, man, this just seems like a broken little girl that's been going through some things. And we'll dive into that one day, but not today. But I remember just like walking this journey and I'm just like, all right, God, you have my yes. Like, God, use me. Like, since I was younger, I was always like, I'm going to be a boss. People be like, what you want to be when you grow up? And you know how they ask that question. I was like, I want to be a boss. And I never knew what I was going to be a boss of, but I knew I was going to run something. But anyways, um, but even with like just starting that walk off with God at like 17, 18. And I keep getting mixed up because I graduated 2017, y'all. Hello, gives my age out, right? But I graduated in 2017, so it was around that time where I was really just like ready to dive into a deeper relationship. Like I know the God that I was presented through everybody else, but I didn't really know God for myself. And I just remember just diving into him and just really learning just a little bit more is like I would like open my Bible and just like let it drop. I can't do it now because then I get confused, but I don't know how it worked back then. You know, God will meet you anywhere. But like I wanted to learn how to read the Bible, and I would just open the Bible and it would just drop to wherever I needed to be, and that's where I would study. And like I would just getting into deeper, watching sermons on TV. God brought me all the things that I needed to be equipped. And then he started giving me like the visions and the dreams, like, remind me of the things that he's put into me and stuff. And I'm just like, you know what? Like a little kid. Yeah, daddy, I'm ready to go. Like, use me. Choose me. What did I say? I volunteer tribute. Lord, I was excited. You know how he was like, yeah, oh my gosh, that's an awesome picture. I want that. I can't wait to do that. And I got all these dreams. I remember, and I thank my parents for this. And I know like one of the biggest things that I remember was like 15, 16 years old. I wanted to start this. Honestly, I wanted to start this prematurely, and that's what I'm going to call it because it was definitely prematurely. And instead of it being called Lost to Becoming, I was going to use my ministry name, and that's I Have Something to Say. And at the time, it was just I Have Something to Say. Now it's I Have Something to Say, Show Me Your Scars. Anyways, and I'm rambling, I'm talking too fast, but who cares? Keep up. Man, we're gonna love each other. Definitely gotta be. Yeah. Anyways, but I wanted to start that ministry, and thankfully they like share with me like there's a little bit more to it. Like there's more to the background than you think. And then even as I continued to grow, God equipped me with my mentor, and I was starting to walk with her in her women's group. She would always be like, "Make sure you're called. Don't do nothing unless you're called." And I didn't understand. I was just excited. I'm just like, "All right, Lord, I'm ready. Lord, I'm ready. Use me." And I laugh because I can kind of picture, and I'm starting to feel the joy that it used to be. What I would be like, okay, God, use me. I'm like, yes, Lord. And then the times when you like, all right, God, I gave you a yes, but you didn't tell me I was gonna get my butt beat like this. And the reason why I got my butt beat is because I was trying to do it in my own way. I have control issues, and I trust you. I just wanted to help you, and my helping turned into. I'm sorry, y'all. But my helping turned into getting in your way, and I got bruised more than I should have, and yeah, it's way heavier than I thought it was. So that's what we're really gonna dive into. It's just the weight of your yes. Like it can be very heavy. Um, and just sitting here thinking about it now, like I know the deeper I have grown in my relationship, the heavier it has been. I know we walk through victory and I'm never defeated. It is heavy. Like, how they say you walk through the fire, but you don't smell like smoke. But I felt the flames a little bit. It didn't all the way touch me, but sometimes, how it gets real hot and you start to sweat. I'm being way too goofy right now, but I don't really care. But like, yeah, it's like one of those. It's like, Lord, help me, help me. Anyways, another thing I wanted to kind of point out that kind of leads me into the verse that God gave me today is like especially when I was kind of like coming up until this day, I still kind of say this sometimes, but like it really kind of hit me when I was younger. I was like, God, like I am so young. I'm going through all of this, or why you call me to do it, God? I'm so young. I can't do that. Like, do you know how old I am? And I would always ask them all these questions, like, do you know who you're talking to? Like why me? So for this one, he led me to Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 4 through 12. I like all of it, but the more I got into it, the more it kind of, took me away from where I was going with it. But starting on verse 4, as I was mentioning, is Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 4 through 12. So verse 4, it says, "The Lord gave me this message. I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. Before you were born, before you was born, I set you apart and appointed you as my prophet to the nations. O sovereign Lord, I said, I can't speak for you. I am too young." The Lord replied, do not say I am too young, for you must go wherever I send you and say whatever I tell you. And don't be afraid of the people, for I will be with you and will protect you. I, the Lord, have spoken. Then the Lord reached out and touched my mouth and said, Look, I have put my words in your mouth. Today I appoint you to stand up against nations and kingdoms. Some you must uproot and tear down, destroy and overthrow. Others you must build up and plant. Then the Lord said to me, "Look, Jeremiah, what do you see?" And I replied, "I see a branch from an almond tree." And the Lord said, "That's right. It mu- that's right. It means that I am watching, and I will certainly carry out all my plans." Um, that one right there, I like that because, like I said, as when I was younger, I used to say it all the time, like, God, I'm so young. Like, how why is this? Why am I going through this? Like, why is this happening? I'm only this, and that verse right there, what they come to mind is like, no matter how old you are, no matter the age, God is still going to get the glory, and He's still going to work through you. He knew, like He said, like it said at the beginning, He knows you before He put you in your mother's womb. He knew what He designed you to do before He put you here. So that for me gives me hope, especially in the moments when it feels like the pressing, the breaking, and the crushing, and the fire, or just the heat, or the big, deep self development moments. That all gives me hope in those moments. And even reading that, I kind of read that a few times today, and it kind of like reflects back. Is like when He said, "I will certainly carry out my plans," and make me think about Jeremiah 29:11, and it talks about the plans that He has for us. Go back and read that one. I just, kind of paraphrase on that a little bit. But yeah, it's just like it giving us hope. No matter what we're going through, God is gonna be there to walk us on this journey. Um, and I will say, I would like to say, like, no matter how heavy the weight gets, we can give it to God. I don't know the verse off the top, but the one where it talks about casting your cares onto the Lord and stuff like that. So I would just say keep your head up, keep going, and no matter how heavy the weight gets, God got you. And remember, you're not lost. You're becoming, and I love you.